Welcome back to the Caregiver Minute, where every weekday family and professional caregivers gather to refine their skills, gain inspiration, and prepare to serve. Imagine someone important in your life. It might be a spouse, it might be an employer, it might be a friend, it could be a teacher. Regardless of who it is, imagine someone that you have regular interaction with, and every time you turn around, they're telling you what to do. They're saying, "Oh, Eric, don't do this. Eric, do it this way. That was wrong. Eric, no, you can't do that." How would you feel if someone was constantly on your case, telling you exactly what to do and exactly what you're doing wrong all the time? Can you imagine how deflating that would be? Unfortunately, for many people living with dementia, that's a day-to-day experience. When you're confused and you have no idea where you are and what's going on from moment to moment, you're just trying to figure it out. And the less certainty that you have about life and what you're supposed to be doing, the more likely it is that you're going to make mistakes. Imagine that you're a woman and you're totally confused about where you are, and you walk into a room and you see a purse that looks like yours. And so you pick it up because you're just trying to figure out what's happening in that moment. And imagine that someone walks up to you and says, "Martha, you can't have that purse. That's not your purse. That belongs to Susan. What are you doing?" Oh, can you imagine how upsetting that would be? As if you intended to take that purse, even though you just were confused and you thought that it was yours. Nobody likes to be called out, let alone when they're acting with good intentions and others don't seem to see those good intentions. It's very important that we not correct people at every turn. Social science research reminds us that for every one interaction with another person that is perceived as negative or deflating or frustrating, we need to have about 5 positive interactions for life to feel imbalanced. Whether we're interacting with our teenage kids, or we're interacting with people living with dementia, or coworkers, or anyone else, when we start tipping the balance toward more negative interactions, and we don't have at least that 5-to-1 ratio of positive to negative, things just do not feel good. And sometimes we focus enough on trying to create positive interactions within the workplace or within the family unit that we fail to consider the 5-to-1 ratio with the people that we're actually serving. Are we having a lot more positive interactions with them than the negative ones? So instead of just correcting people all the time, we might walk up to them and say, "Oh, Martha, I've been looking everywhere for you. You look great. I love your hair." And once we establish a relationship and we have some more positive interactions, it's a lot easier to nonchalantly identify something with a person, not scold somebody, but to say, "Oh, I have been looking everywhere for that purse. I know right where it goes. Let's put it away." It's not possible to role play every last scenario that we might find ourselves in, but understanding the principle of the 5-to-1 ratio and cutting out all the scolding and instead interacting in very positive ways with people makes a difference. Today, as you interact with a person or people that you're serving, I invite you to consider how well you're doing at maintaining that 5-to-1 ratio of positive interactions to those that could be perceived negatively. And sometimes a negative interaction comes up not because we intend it, but because human communication is flat difficult. And sometimes we find ourselves in a bad spot. When that happens, we can proactively try to add some more positive moments to help that ratio be better in balance. I promise you, as you consider this 5-to-1 ratio and you work to not scold people, but to instead encourage and connect and have positive interactions, it'll make a difference in your stress level and theirs. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you again soon for another episode of the Caregiver Minute.